Home sweet home, Sherry. You know, I envy you, Sherry. You can talk to other people and they won't ignore you.
And I envy you. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. I had a surprise for my mother.
Minecraft'ta vur. Ay John bu pardon.
You had a shovel with you, John. I was holding an ancient Greek vase,
Wah.
or rather, quite a big piece of it. I remember now, we dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona, and were eager to show my mother right away. Another one. For some reason, the door was closed. We knocked.
But nobody answered. We thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes. It came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there, furious at us. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it.
Şerefsiz.
The things are
Ayrılsın
still
odası.
here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to sort through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality.
Eğmenler değil, bezmenler.
This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not this one. Surface corrosion suggests it was prone to extreme temperature fluctuations. For medical purposes, I suppose. 1 dram dissolved in a glass of water administered daily. Not to exceed 1 dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children. Seems this was the most frequently used medication.
Nazik sayırım. Ne yazık ki henüz senden bir cevap alamadım. Önceki mektuplarımın sıradaki yolculuklarına senin peşinden geldiğini düşünüyorum. Umarım sağlığın yerindedir ve eve dönüş yolundasındır. Sabırsızlığım için beni affet ama nazik sesin ve parlak gözlerin olmadan bir hayat yaşamaya pek de aşka bak be. Neler yazdırıyor. Çocukların da babalarına ihtiyaçları var. Seni özlediklerini anlayabiliyorum. Gerçi senin de bildiğin gibi Minecraft hislerini belli eden biri değil. Önceki mektuplarımın kaybolmuş olma ihtimaline karşın Cordona'ya geri döndüğümüzü bil. Lütfen çabuk dön. Sonsuza dek seninim Milet. 1869. Ölmeden önce mi acaba? Öldüğü sene. Kemerle falan
Straps on the bed.
bağlanıyormuş.
Just doesn't look right.
Benim anam deliymiş.
This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December 1868.
Hiç mi kimse düzeltmedi?
This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February 1869.
Ay, Allah'ım. Bir gitmiş anne. Toprağına
It's
bağlamış.
difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all.
Sayın bezmenler, açar mısınız lütfen kapıyı? Bezmenler soy ismi işte. Gözlem. Kaç aydır Bayan Holmes sen birkaç manzara çizimi temiz ve doğruydu ama sonra gerçeklik uzaklaştı. Görünüşe göre hastalığı hızla ilerliyor ve belki görme yetisini bile etkiliyor olabilir. Trepanasyon yapmayı düşünmem gerekebilir. Trepanasyon! Bu benim misyon. Londra 21 Ağustos 1865 Tiger Holmes'un Times gazetesindeki arkeolog arjının tarihçi Baysar henüz 41 yaşında olan Holmes cumartesi günü Covent Garden tiyatro operada kalp krizi geçirdi. Doktorunun bütün çabalarına rağmen bilinci açılmadı ve dün gece 6:20 geç öldü. Ani ölümü geniş tanınık çevresinde şok etkisi yarattı. Bay Holmes ardında bir eş Violet ve 16 yaşında Mycroft, 6 yaşında Sherlock isimli cenazesi çarşamba günü St. James'teki Highgate mezarlığında papaz W.A. Stanley tarafından kaldı.
It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything except the deep feeling of
Evet
loss.
evet.
You were too young.
Görüsünü etkiledi dedi de kadında bir problem vardı muhtemelen fark.
It's so sad. I'm sorry.
Babası. Anne!
Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
...1868. İlk muayene hastanın uyku sorunları çektiğini, endişe dönemleri yaşadığını ve hatıralarını hafiften karıştırdığını gösterdi. Günlük kalması için bir yatıştırıcı yazdı ve semptomlarını gözlemlemeye devam edeceğim. Bu arada kadını ölümcül bir hastalıktan kaybettiklerini sanıyorlardı. Böyle bir şey, böyle bir konu hiç geçmemiş. Yatıştırıcılar endişe krizlerini en aza indirgedi ama Bayan Holmes şimdi de katatoni, duygusuzluk ve uzun depresif haller yaşıyor. Daha hastanın kafa karışıklığı daha da kötüleşti. Ölmüş kocasına sanki hayattaymış gibi. Ben de onu merak ediyordum. Ulan mektup yazmış. Ama sonra ölüm ilanını okuduk. Şok oldum falan. Zihinsel durumunu dengelemek için 6 ilaç daha yazdım ve haftalık hidroterapi görecek. Oha ya. Bu da kaç ay sonrası? Bu Ağustos, Mayıs, Ağustos, Kasım. Kafa karışıklığı neredeyse sürekli olan Sandra haline dönüştü. Agresif davranışlar sergiliyor. Kendi ailesine ve kendine karşı birden fazla şiddet vakasına tanık oldum. Bu nedenle pencerelere demirlik yapılmasını ve Bayan Holmes'un geceleri yatağına bağlanmasını söyledim. Dozaj arttırım yapılmış. What the fuck?
There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom.
Bunu toplayabiliriz.
No labels. I doubt it ever had one. Oh, it brings back some memories.
Avazo.
My mother loved flowers. They
Farklı
made her
bir
smile.
adam.
I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island.
Öyle oldu. Ay. Okey.
The broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
Ne falan. Ah! Oo, bayağı ürkütücü şeyler yaşamış. Bakalım böyle mi yapabilir?
I don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
Oo.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died.
9 Nisan günü çok kötü başladı. Annem önce tedirgin, sonra kendini kaybetti. Yerlere yemek fırlatıp doktora bağırarak yalancı olduğunu söyledi. John'la sabah Jane'i götürdük ama bağırışmalar başladığında korktum. Aklıma gelen tek şey yatağın yanına saklanmak ve her şeyin geçmesini beklemek. Neyse ki John beni korumak için oradaydı ve beni sakinleştirdi.
My mother, she was not just ill, but mad.
Kadın
God have mercy.
sonradan
sorry.
delirmiş.
That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Aa, John gidiyor.
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
Well, history tells us these memories are triggered by our investigation of other matters. I suspect it could not be forced even if I so desired.
Thank you. How are you feeling about all this? Tell me, I'm not the only one reeling.
It feels wrong, sad. Like they're the memories of another man. I'm struggling to reconcile my love for my mother with the reality of who she
Evet,
was.
bence de
And
çok.
worse, what possessed my
Sesi benim sesimi bastırmıyor değil mi?
Precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait. Did you hear that?
Yes, metallic salts. What is this sailor doing here?
Kimsin?
Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? I was
Evet.
looking for you.
Bu sakalı
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You can call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
ne? Ne? Anla ha, boya.
I cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes.
Herhalde
Could you explain how you
hızlıyız.
came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favorite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of
Pembe
an
gemi de
artist?
komik
I would
olurdu.
suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your
Bu adamın
pocket.
benim anamla derdi
An
ne?
invitation, I suppose.
Her
An
yerden bu
invitation to
çıkıyor.
Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even
Hafife almayın
underestimated
be.
you. This is your invitation.
Hadi
Please tell
hafife.
Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so if you win this little game. Farewell.
Sen de tahmin etmişsindir. Seni sanat sergimi tatmaya davet etmek istiyorum. Sadece o güzelliklere şahit olman için değil. Ayrıca dehana da ihtiyacım var. Sonra Eskişehir'deki Pazar Caddesi ile Holmes bulundaki Kervansaray'da bulabilirsin. Daimi dostun.
You won't believe it, but Werner's other idea was to put me in a dress.
Merhaba.
Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific. I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been
Nasıl
torched,
ya?
and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance.
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Orada farklı bir...
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
Ben de dostum. Ay girmiyor.
Back home, we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
Ne yapıyorsun? Ne yapıyorsun? Komik mi?
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
Ya bu da şey hayvan değil.
Closed with a metal bolt. Footprints. Size 9.5.
Oha küçük gözüküyor. Belliydi böyle bir girişten.
Old and hasn't been used for a long time. The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame.
Ha topal. Topal.
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken, John. A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane.
Aynı kişi.
Sodden and mold-ridden. One presumes deliberately. The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests.
Aynen. Evet.
Saturn devouring his sun. Oh, grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing.
Başka bir şey. Vera.
A Malpalbut.
Alpalpat. Elboru.
Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache.
Demir bıyıklı. Şimdi bu geldi. Ömürlükten içeri girdi, tamam mı bu? Onu kullanmamış. Bu ne lan? Onun yapma ihtimali var mı lan? Abi gerçekten adam kendi kendine yapmış olabilir çünkü şu kürek kullanılmamış. Oradan çıkıyor zaten o.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Ha, bu geldiğinde gitti mi?
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor.
Okey. Onu
Vogel
gösteriyor.
heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking.
Fare sandım.
The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room. But the vandalism was a cover for the theft.
Abla çalmış.
You sure you don't like art, Sherry?
The pieces
Sevmem.
are
Tamam,
not what I
severim de.
expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Hmm.
Mr. Vogel, my investigation has revealed that the intrusion was not merely vandalism but theft. The limping visitor left your place with a canvas. The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly...
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp.
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
There's something more, is there not? I can.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the pain. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of...
What was depicted in...
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one's...
The evaluation of art is very... After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better...
So where can I find
Mercurio'yu
all of this material?
bulalım
I
bakalım.
know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so...
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
Bunlar gün...
Mr. Holmes, I have something for you.
Bu ne anlatıyor ya? Geçtiğimiz hafta bizi sanatçıların sözde sosyetesiyle ilgili yeni bir skandalla karşı karşıya bıraktı. Her şey yerel sanatçıların gözden satışı da başladı. Bir sandalye fırlatarak oha sandalyemi fırlatmış. Namusuna mı göz dikmiş? Müşteriler de dahil olmuş. Kavgaya bak anasını satayım. Scarlet Zeytin. Eskişehir Scarlet Zeytin. Olayı da bir araştıralım. Hoş ama. Boniface Mercurio.
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, ma'am. I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass. No visitors allowed.
I wish to buy a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at home?
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind. Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead? Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only.
Teyze o.
If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you to the police. Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah, old age does terrible things to one's sight.
Boniface.
I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, ma'am? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake, how many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please, accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes. Do you know what makes a lady happy? Paid rent.
Tamam abla tamam. Deriz abla. Böyle bir şey beklemiyordum. Ne oldu? Ölmüşüm.
Judging by post-mortem rigidity, the body lay here for 1 or 2 days.
İnanmıyorum.
Soaked in blood. It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags. The wound is precise. It was inflicted by a razor or a knife. A normal kitchen knife. Could be the murder weapon. The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material. Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon? The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material.
Deli ya.
It appears the wine was truly awful. Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching. I wonder where he got that fancy camera. Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here. The chest has been searched.
Önce buraya gelmiş, sonra oraya gitmiş.
Red skin, tails on the back. Reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting.
Huh?
The blood has dried.
I've heard of this style of painting. It's called expressionism. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Mercurio was developing photographs when the intruder snuck in. Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand.
Bunu kimse duymamış
He
olamaz
smashed it
ya.
across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat. When the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late. Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him. It's time for some chemical magic, John.
Ay en zoru geldi. Bu imkansız. Hep ortadaki sıkıntı çıkartıyor. Ortadakini çıkartamıyoruz. Allah'ın ceza. Ah. Hayır hayır. Yaptık be. Geç kardeşim geç. Geç hadi geç. Yallah. Artıyorum ha. Rahat ol. Bu da bitti. Hayır bir
That doesn't look
The
like
photograph
painting
was
on
not
me,
pulled out in
Sherry.
time, as expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
ah
I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John? Nothing behind it. Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting.
yok kardeşim yok burada değil işte. Ha burada ulan. Niye orada? Ha tamam da neden oradasın?
Monster was actually a man. Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry? I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up.
Gerçekte olan bir
The
şey
act of
çizmiş,
love.
o da saklamaya
It
çalışıyordu
wasn't
demek
given
ki.
willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse. All right? Stick to the character. Tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here. I've redrawn the people in the photograph. Now you can proceed with your investigation without those horrific details.
Bunu denizci gibi.
What's wrong, dear? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry I let him.
Topallayan adam
I
mı?
was scared. And I thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes.
Aha adam.
My husband used to smoke those.
Can I ask a favor?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat. And don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
Phew, Sherry, that was close.
Bu sabah olmuş
You
be.
did everything correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes.
Is this familiar to you?
I don't want my friends to see me talking to a spoiled money bag.
Of kanka ya. Bıktım ırkçılığınızdan ya.
Excuse me, just one question.
Eh? Of course I know. To cut a long story short.
Bunun yüzündeki yaralar etnik kabilesininkilere benziyor. Cordona'da Eve halkının bulunabileceği tek yer Claudia ile Silverton arasındaki. Okey, Victoria Köprüsü. Yazık ya. Tecavüz et. Nasıl?
Beasts!
Excuse me, just one question.
A lady doesn't know about such things.
Aa, öyle mi Lady? Kusura bakma Lady. Ne oluyor burada ya?
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land, then they murder our
Değil mi ya bu
people.
mülteciler?
Speak with the chief.
Ben hemen bir seri şif olayım.
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request the...
Polisim.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm from City Hall. They sent me to oversee the situation.
No, you're not. I'm the supervisor of the camp, and I'm the one who's handling the current situation on behalf of City Hall. Ronald Harlow at your service. Now, sir, tell me who you really are, or you'll have to explain yourself to the police. I have full authority to request they detain you.
Very well, Mr. Harlow. I am a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness on my case. Sherlock Holmes is my real name.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in, so please.
Ya sivil
step
değilim, polisim. Yazık. Bir başka bir... Evet, tam bir şaşkın şekilci bence. İlk defa da sağ görevine çıkmış olabilir.
This crowd keeps shouting about.
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Ya
Simply tell the
Sen
police
bana
that I'm the
bıraksana.
City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside.
Thank
Just tell
you.
me when you're ready.
Sağ ol.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside in a... When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship
Olaya
it
bak
was.
ya.
We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and...
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general.
Are the police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees... Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector
Felix.
Tewksbury. He's the officer
Hex mi?
investigating the scene.
Sanki bu...
Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill...
I'll find my way with what?
Beasts!
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls.
Who the hell are you?
Mr. Ronald Harlow, let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewksbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before
Sen
you
bana
appeared.
bırak dostum.
Could you first tell
Şey
me what
yapmadım.
happened here?
What happened?
Ay,
People
hiçbir şey
from the bridge
görmedim.
above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam.
I'm sure. Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing.
Bir
And
şeyler
now
mi
there's
diyor
a
acaba?
crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugee.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every...
Did you learn anything about...
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished... Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in...
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed? And where is this young...
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body? 0.
Malpal, soaked with salt water. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much. A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers. An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain.
4 numara.
Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn
Tamam,
than the other.
topal olan
This
buymuş
man
ya.
was limping John.
Bence bu kızı
Violent
öldürmeye bile gelmiş olabilir.
This man, limping.
Bunun
Coal
işi
dust. I
olabilir.
think we're onto something here, John.
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
Ceset yüzünden kampın kurdukları tertip sayesinde sağlıkları para akışını kaybedeceklerinden
Nobody
kork.
will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Perhaps we should sniff around in the
Evet,
camp a
burada
little
bir
more
sıkıntı
thoroughly.
dönüyor polisler arasında, bakalım. Ne? Ya.
A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here. A blood trail leading to or a furrow in the ground.
Oha, 8.
A man's footprint. Police boots. Always happy to a heavy boot with a worn-out sole.
Aha, bu tam adamın ayak izi.
Carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. Someone was dragged against their will.
Kadın galiba ya.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified.
Çekil.
Back off.
Back off. Canlı olsun. Bu adammış.
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish, and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Are you able to help me?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Nasıl ya? Nasıl bilgin yok ya? Benim kıyafetim niye umursanmıyor şu an?
I'll use it to create a solution.
Önümü görürsem hazırlayacağım.
May I ask you something?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Nausea and stomach pain.
Such a mess.
Not what
Aldın mı? Heh. Aloe vera.
I can use this to stop the infection from spreading.
Yara sargı lazım. Ana sargı.
Just wash. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I've plated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Bir. Geç. Bir kanıt daha vardı, ona bir bakabilir miyim?
Clearly a left handprint here. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Evet, nasıl girdi?
Thank
Ne demek, rica
This should
ederim.
make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
You still...
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady bit... I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police.
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
Purple.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers.
Improv.
So there wasn't
Teşekkür
any
ederim, hoş
sophisticated
geldin.
infiltration plan. The good old police just let the
İlham.
man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Polis memuruyla adam. Biri çıplak ayakta. Beni tutarak gitti.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade.
Salak.
However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
Şerefsiz, niye aldık
He
içeri?
died by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Kapıdaki polisi döveceğim şimdi. Uç.
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
Nasıl izin verilmiyor kardeşim ya? Dümdüz adam yani adam.
You still here?
Inspector, I believe I can aid your investigation. I know who the dead man is and what really happened.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp.
You don't even care to listen?
Oh, I do care. Maybe even more than I need to. But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
En azından dinle.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you...
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a...
Oh, well, that's a great start.
A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the...
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
Oh, thank you.
One small clock can make any
You're
difference. in this
disturbing a
place.
hornet's nest here,
Who knows,
son.
John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly.
Ne demek? Rica
The
ederim.
police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own fault.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're...
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But I will be watching you.
Hello, Nayla?
Nasıl yani?
My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here
İngiliz
to help.
hali mi?
I'm trying to find the
İngiliz'in
people involved
İngiliz
and bring
hali.
them to justice, please.
Herkes kendi dilini
There is
konuşsun
a photograph,
kardeşim
and I'm
demek
sorry,
istiyor.
it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people?
Yok ya, çok odaklanıyorum, ben çok seviyorum hikaye dinlemeyi. Oyun devamlı hikaye
Nayla,
anlatıyor, o yüzden odaklanıyorum ondan
I'm
yani.
sorry. I'm not very good at this.
Bir de şu an biraz sıkıntılı bir konu işliyor açıkçası.
A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white.
You still here?
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to
Aa,
hell with you.
başka bir şey var onunla.
Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scalario. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now.
Çok dalga geçiyor. Bu adam hiç sevmiyor bu arada polis. Adam birisi değil. Ha, burada bu arada fotoğrafı önce bulamamış, sonra öldürmüş. Nefsi müdafaa-ile öldürmüş. Niccolo Bernadotti 1834 doğumlu, Cordano'da tanınmış bir iş adamı ve patrondur. 1870 yılında kurulmuş olan kurucu sahibidir. Pazar ve Romalı kesişimindeymiş. Okey. 1876 tarihinde anonim kaynaklardan alınan ihbar sonucu sorguya getirildi. Bu kaynak Bay Bernardotti'nin Britanya kolonileri, Cordona ve Birleşik Krallık arasında içki ve antika kaçakçılığı yaptığını iddia ediyor. Çalışan kişilerin daha önce soygun, şiddet, şantaj ve haraç toplama gibi yasa dışı işlere bulaştığı da iddia ediliyor. Sanık olarak sorgulanmaya çağrılmış çünkü kendisine karşı bir kanıt yokmuş. Operasyonların gerçeklerle bir haber olduğunu iddia etti. Bilgi edinememiş. İtalya, Sicilya. Portacıymış. İşportacılar hep kaçakçı oluyor ya. Londra'ya taşınıp mal ihraç etmeye başladığı yönünde Bay Bernardetti'yi bu vakaya bağlamak imkansız demiş. Ben çözeceğim bu olayı. Yetkilileri araştıracak. Thomas Norton. Oxford Üniversitesi'nden mezun olmuş. İçişleri Bakanlığı'nda çalışmış. Askeri delege görevine getirilmiş. Kraliçe tarafından Banyan nişanıyla ödüllendirilmiş. Cordona'nın Britanya delegesi ilan edilmiş 1878'de.
So what's the infiltration plan, Sherry? I'd go in through the rooftop if we had a harpoon gun.
Lan bu bizim başkası sandım. Arkada at olsam. Zaten berduş gibiyim.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Ben de buna inanırım ya.
These workers don't look like your average Cordona folk.
They're refugees from the camp. Porcelain friend for every child.
Çocuğum olsa böyle bir şey almam bu arada. Bence korkutucu.
Please.
That's our way in, Sherry.
Hey, yo. This is private property. You lost something.
Good day, sir. I've been sent by City Hall to see Mr. Bernadotte about...
Mr. Bernadotte isn't seeing anyone. You have 3 seconds to walk away or you'll never walk again. Capito?
It's in Mr. Bernadotte's best interest to...
1.
Listen, the man Bernadotte sent up...
2.
Well, this has been miserable.
Sherlock, think. We know what the fellows from the gang look like.
Hey, stop.
Didn't see you either, mate. I'm John.
I'm
Just
John.
shipped in from London. Cheap bastards had me sharing a bunk with 2 others.
Oh, that sounds like
Why?
Bernadotte. Why are you here?
Problem at the refugee camp. I need to report to Mr. Bernadotte. The sooner the better.
I knew it was only a
The
matter
sooner
of
the
time
better.
until those savages stirred up trouble. Go on, get inside.
John Shelby. What are you doing, mate?
You did it, Sherry. A full immersion into the criminal underworld.
Çok eğlenceli. Tamamen suça
The
battım.
silver and treasure, mate. Loads of pirate gold buried somewhere around, just waiting to be found.
It's all right, there's no treasure.
But maybe there is. I just need to crack the bloody riddle.
Hangi tuşta dinliyorduk lan? Niye dinle? Hoş geldin Edmund. Dedikodu. Aa. Biz burada dövüşeceğiz. Şimdi bakalım nelerimiz var. İçeri tek giriş yolu konuyoruz. Tamam, bunu girdik zaten. Ha, bir de dur bakayım.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Kapıdan geçebiliyor muyum?
Sherry, look.
Heh.
This seems familiar.
Aa, o tablo.
Let's see what's hidden there.
Bu arada şu an tecavüz içeren bir davayı işliyoruz. Da söyleyeyim şunu.
Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't it curious how it developed into a much more interesting case?
O kaçakçılık da var.
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa.
Bereket tanrıçası mı?
A Dogon statue from West Africa.
Dogonmuş.
A century old at least.
Maske yok mu burada?
VH Grindley Flow Blue Tableware. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
Kara para. Kara para değil, direkt kaçakçılık ve Flow Blue Table. Siz var ya. Ne be? Oha.
An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
Biliyorsunuz ki polis asla aramayız.
Hello, friend. Tough day, eh?
Sorma ya.
If the damn idiot hadn't stolen the canary, I'd be begging in silver down in the mines. Instead of this.
Ya kötülüğe bir kere... Ne yapıyorsun John? Ah! İnsanların ortasında yapıyor bir de.
The Bernadotte Company Limited trade network reaches the most distant colonies of the Great Empire.
It must be very convenient.
Excuse me.
for a man like
Mr. Bernadotte is busy right now.
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor.
Devlet de mi işin içinde?
1875. It was taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't have one.
I don't know who you are.
Ay pardon.
Someone will be punished for letting me in. First, let's talk.
Konuşak. Senin hakkın... Ya bu çupu adam beni çıldırtacak ya.
Whenever you're ready. I'd hate to intrude.
işin içinde? İyi, Pellegra ne be? Neymiş baksanıza da çok merak ettim. Ucun yüzüğü var. Bir de evlisin. Hasarlı cilt, alyans, yıpranmış eller, kaçmıyor, soğukkanlı diğerlerinden farklı. Gücünü göstermek için ellerini kirletmekten kaçınmayan zalim bir çete lideri mi, yoksa sert bir çete lideri ve akıllı bir iş adamı mı? Özgüvenli ve kötü birisi. Tehlikeye karşı silahını kendisine yakın tutsa da yine de kılıfında tutan birisi. Merhametli işçi sınıfından birisi. Fakir bir ailede büyümüş, genç yaşındayken arazilerde çalışmış, güneş altında iyi beslenmeden çok çalıştığı için Pellegra hastalığına yakalanmış mı? Yoksa hep de bela yaratmaya hazır mı? Yok be. Okey, en başındakini seçeceğiz sadece. Bence ihtiyaçlı suç dehası.
Niccolo Bernadotti, I presume? The name is Sherlock Holmes, and I'm afraid I bring bad tidings.
Is that so?
The man you sent to the refugee camp failed in his task. He impaled himself on his own blade. A clumsy and chaotic end.
For a man who just broke onto my property, you are more businessman than brute. You have my attention, Mr. Holmes. Do not waste it.
Mr. Bernadotti, do you know the name
Boniface
Boniface
Mercurio?
I do not.
Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself. I was hired, privately, to investigate the recent theft of a painting from an art gallery. My investigation led me to a man from your organization, and thus, to you, Mr. Bernadotti.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted?
Interestingly enough, I spotted the stolen
Çünkü
painting
tablonun sanatçısı tabloyu satmadı.
Unfortunately,
Kabul
if this is
etmedi.
true, it is not the first time I have been sold
Çünkü
stolen merchandise. I presume you were hired by the
tecavüzcü
owner of the
almaya
gallery.
çalıştı.
Tell them to contact me, and we'll sort out the situation. So, this painting is why you broke into my office.
As I said, your man was found dead in the refugee camp. He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance to the one on your neck. Care to explain what business your man had with this woman?
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no
Beni
kidnapping.
kandırdılar, ben
The refugees in the
bilmiyorum.
camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident, one I am not responsible for.
For what reason was your man there if not to abduct her?
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slightest. So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
The time is almost up, Mr. Holmes.
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I am yet to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is what you're after too, isn't it, Mr. Bernadotti?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not naive enough to carry it with me, but I am yet to decide what I shall do with it. I know the man in the photo is a British envoy. What interest do you have in his downfall?
I must admit, I'm rather impressed by how comprehensive
Yapan kişi delegeymiş. Ha doğru, delegeydi, onu bulmuştuk uzun zaman.
are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
Ay,
And rather than
biliyormuş
extricate
öldürüldü.
yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
Evet. Soralım.
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. Victims and witnesses all too often disappear. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
I saw refugees from the camp at your warehouse. They work for you.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police. Thanks to me, refugees can work and be paid. It's a pathway to freedom.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
Doğru. Bunu mülteciler de söyledi bu arada. Hoş geldin Arış'ta.
I could not help but appreciate the collection of smuggled artifacts in your storeroom. You have rather diversified your business.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. Not all smuggling is immoral. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers. And furthermore, I supply many immigrants with a taste of home.
A very convenient way of thinking.
I have traveled wildly, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking from experience.
Why should I give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotti. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the refugees. Give them a chance for a better life.
I do have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I could, however, make arrangements for one person. The woman who was violated will have her own home outside the camp, solely for her and her child. She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser, he will serve me, as much as he deserves.
So, in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotti.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Ne yapacak? Bence bu kadar suçlu birisine abi sanırım bu adama. Şimdi şöyle bir sıkıntı var. Ben bu fotoğrafı verirsem delege hakkında hiçbir şey yapılmayacak. Sadece şantaj yapılacak. Suç örgütü belediyede çok yüksek bir yere sahip olacak. İşbirliğini yapmak isterdim sadece kadın için. Hatta diğer insanları da çalıştırıyor falan. Ya abi şunu yaparsam tam bir İngiliz olmuş olurum gibi hissediyorum. Yani çok garip bir dönüm noktasındayım şu an. Bilmiyorum. Kapıya tekme at. Ya.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious.
Mercury ya da öldü. Bu da sanatçı.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the painting, but I could not retrieve it.
Well then, where is it?
In Bernadotti's office.
Bernadotti? That shady businessman? Why would he steal it from me?
I'm afraid you'll have to ask him yourself.
I take it you found something more then.
I found the source of Mercurio's artistic inspiration. A photograph. What troubled me was that the sexual act captured was non-consensual.
She was violated? Dear God, how despicable.
Her abuser was in fact the British envoy. Mercurio took a picture of him committing the atrocity and then used it as artistic inspiration.
I had no idea a mere break-in would eventually expose such barbarity.
Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything public, including the photograph. I'm sure you have a connection at the Cordona Chronicle.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Loyal to your own truth till the end. Yes, I'm acquainted with the staff of the Chronicle. The story is sensational, and will surely draw attention to the gallery. But you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further hurt the victim. Does that not bother you?
No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out, as well it should. I won't be the one to stand in its way.
Though it's only your subjective truth being exposed. Not that I'm judging. It's perfectly reasonable for everyone to have their own views.
Abi diğer türlü katiller dışarıda
but I'm not like
kalacaktı.
you, Mr. Holmes. I cannot be sure of anything. Regardless, I must thank you, for art's sake. Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Sen annemle bir işin var da.
And what exactly
Bakalım ne çıkacak.
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear. I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine.
O benim suratımı mı
Thank you,
tuttu?
Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.